he owns a business that would be affected by it.
In other words, he went to the Jan
can
Malik
you say
School.
recusal? You know?
So he went to the Jan Malik School of Legislative Self-Interest.
Right. I own a liquor store. Let's reduce taxes on liquor.
So the next law
passed.
All right, so we expect to see it sometime soon, a law that invokes a reduction of taxes and elimination of the minimum wage if, hypothetically, you live within 15 miles of Providence and you sell pizza or beer.
Well, this whole thing about, Regenberg now in Providence has this... he wants to raise the tipped wage, minimum wage, from $2.89 to $5.50. The law doesn't need to be made. According to Rhode Island law, your employer is supposed to make up the difference between your tipped wage and minimum wage if your tips and wage don't add up to it. Like, that's on the books right now, but nobody actually follows the law.
Never happens.
Again, it's enforceability or unenforceability.
Or a quick election to state government, and we don't need those stinking rules.
Right. We get more income tax if we raise the minimum wage.
By the way, where are we, Tony, tonight?
We're at the Fatt Squirrel in lovely, scenic Providence, Rhode Island.
You know, as you can tell, some of the evening's festivities are starting to get underway. There's going to be live music, rock and roll, reggae, cold beer.
The distinct smell of skunk is in the air.
Well, what you guys missed from earlier, which also leans into my radio show, My Night Out Radio, this is also a Jamaican restaurant. During the day, up until I think it's 8, 9 o'clock at night, they have some excellent Jamaican food here. Tonight, before everyone started showing up, I had oxtail. What was the last time you... Oh, yeah, it was yummy. So... If you're around the area, because I know you go slumming all the time on Chestnut Street, after you're done dumping the body of the hooker,
when he leaves Allen's Ave,
that's actually over by the bridge, so technically not the Julia District.
A minute or two down the street.
My
from there.
philosophical home is on Dyke Street.
Dyke Street, they do have good food. I will not argue that, but if you go to the end of Dyke Street on the right-hand side, is Oneyville, New York system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The holy ground.
As long as you can jump over all the streams in the parking lot, the food is excellent.
Listen, I'll challenge anybody who thinks that's the best wiener in Rhode Island. Come up to Woonsocket. Go to Coney Island lunch. I'm telling you, the best coffee milk, the best wieners. Just order them, 2 from the wrist, not from the armpit. You'll be fine.
You see... The armpit, the elbow, and the wrist all have the extra sweat.
Salt.
It's extra salt. It just increases
That's
the
all
flavor.
part of it.
And you have to have it by some guy who's barely speaking English and has a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, because you never know which one has the ash.
I was going to say the matchstick or the toothpick hanging out.
Oh, no, it's a cigarette.
There's nothing like a good misty light.
He's just waiting for his next smoke break.
Exactly. It's only a minute or two away after your dogs are done.
He's not working. He's just waiting for his next smoke break.
I can see the reflection of state government, the hot dogs. Never mind.
I'm just going to stand here with these hot dogs on my arm until you order one of them.
The very powerful wiener lobby that exists in Rhode Island.
The wiener lobby.
We call it the strong and throbbing
You can
wiener
smell
lobby.
them.
You know what? I think we need to list ourselves as lobbyists for the wiener lobby.
You can smell them the second they walk into the State
Will
House.
that get us credentials to go on the State House floor?
Even better, we could take opposite sides. I'll be anti-wiener. You could be pro-wiener. I have no wieners in this state. Damn rancid meat sauce.
Oh, boy.
Celery salt.
Yeah. All the way, baby. All the way. Boy, this place is packed, huh?
Very good turnout in the dead of winter.
It shows you how old Pat is that he thinks this is packed.
Have you been to some places lately? What other bars? So this used to be the Spot. What was it before?
Century Lounge, I believe, at one point.
I was really surprised driving into the city tonight at how little activity there is going on.
On a Friday night.
It was really kind of stunning to see how little traffic, economic activity. This snow is killing Rhode Island.
We talked about that a few New Year's Eves ago. We left, Pat and I did a live broadcast, and we left the studio on New Year's Eve in Providence, Rhode Island, and there was nothing going on.
Well, the Cicilline administration, then the Tavares administration, we saw the whole notion of first night go down the tubes, and effectively the Tavares administration gave up on it. It was a great economic draw into the city. It humanized Providence and made people familiar with Providence, so that it gave an opportunity to see it in its best light, and then come in again and again and again. And ultimately, the people who suffer is the culture. What makes Providence special ultimately was the artistic sensibilities and cultures that emanate both from RISD, the rock movement here,
Big Nazo.
Exactly, and so. A lot of development. The Buff Chase Hall of Fame. Buff, where are you? Time to pony up a little dough. I know the 195 Commission ain't working out so good for you right now. But, they tried to turn this downtown into a mall, and they forgot really what Providence is, which is kind of a funky, wannabe slacker city. And that's what makes Providence special. The trouble is, if you're running a live music venue in this city, if you're running a small restaurant, if you're not part of the glitterati, or if you don't have the benefit from Herr Mattiello's advertising and the campaign budget, it's a pretty tough road to hoe in this city.
So what are you saying? Places like Capitol Grill and Capriccio, they really benefit from a guy like Nicholas Mattiello?
Yeah.
You think he spends a lot of money there?
Well, the last time I checked, he hasn't been to Fetish Night at Manchester 65 yet.
I have to tell you, as a former candidate, the way he spends that money disgusts me, because it would never even occur to me to spend my money in that way after being elected. You spend your campaign money on your campaign.
I bought a 30 rack of Gansett lights for my campaign.
But that's food and beverage for your volunteers, right?
No, I drank them all myself.
That's a violation, man. That's a campaign finance violation.
I think that's why I owe the BOE $25. Okay.
So that
shameless plug, by the way.
Listen, as long as you shared one beer from that 30-pack.
And I have a witness right here.
Facebook.com/Coalition Radio.
You were brainstorming about campaign strategy.
It's a mighty, mighty Twitter.
Collecting signatures.
Sunday mornings, 10 a.m., AM 790. Or follow us on Facebook, and we'll teach you how to stream live. And support independent radio. We've got our bookstore up and running on coalitionradio.us.
Are we out now?
Have you made any money yet? Have you made any money off the bookstore yet?
We're up over $6-7.
Why is Pat doing the random drop?
Probably because we're a couple of minutes away from the band making it so loud that we won't be able to hear each other after that. But in the meantime,
but that's my question. Is this it? The band's coming on. Is this the end of the podcast?
This is about we're getting there. Yeah.
Kind of disappointed. This was a lot of fun.
Let's wait for the next break. What do you got coming up on Rhode Island Radio, by the way?
All kind of stuff. It's unbelievable. I got a new podcast kind of project for guests that don't really fit in with any other shows. I'm just gonna kind of have them down there and kind of do our thing. So looking forward to that. We got the Marijuana Roundtable coming up, and it's really it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, is that local media and national media, it's become such an echo that people are really clamoring for unique, interesting content, and especially with the crappy weather, we've seen people are kind of stuck in the house and they're tuning into Rhode Island Free Radio. So it's been great for us.
What's the future of Tony Jones politically?
I haven't decided yet.
Oh, the hard question.
Now, I will tell you one thing, and I know this may be hard to believe, but I used to be a little bit of a wild man back in the day, and I was in a punk band, and in this very club, after my set, I just destroyed the whole stage, like smashed all the instruments, and but that was before the days of YouTube, and so it didn't become a viral video, but me falling off an amplifier did become a little bit of a viral video. So.
And I'm sure your bandmates appreciated it.
Oh, no, they just love the fact that I smashed all their stuff.
Actually, I was also another thing that I witnessed Tony do was go through a floor. He climbed
And come
up
out the other side.
on top of the amps, and when he realized it had wheels, when he was about halfway down, and he broke the stage at Blazes Billiards.
West Warwick was never the same. All right, we're going to split out of here and listen to some music. Thank you guys again. PO Taxpayer, give them your website one more time.
CoalitionRadio.us, Facebook.com/The Coalition Radio, Twitter @Coalition_radio. You can read the rantings and ravings of a lunatic madman, David Fisher, as he secretly takes on the forces of evil that dominate Rhode Island life in general.
And DJ Psycho Eddie.
Lunatic madman now?
Also, don't forget My Night Out Radio
Robin.
Facebook.
There was a madman on 790, but I don't think he could afford $1 for a hollow radio any longer. Does that sound familiar, P.O. Taxpayer?
I thought I was the reasonable one.
So we're going to listen to Raise Ya Fist coming up, and then Roots Radical after that. My name is Tony Jones. You're tuned in to Rhode Island Free Radio, online at rifreeradio.org. We are streaming live, that's right, probably in this market, one of the only live radio broadcasts at this time. I want to thank you for tuning in and hanging out, and if there's any breaks in the next little bit of time span, we'll be breaking in and talking a little bit, but before we get to that, and right now, let's enjoy some local Providence music. We're broadcasting live from the Fatt Squirrel, and incidentally, there are 3 fat men behind the microphone this evening.